Welcome to the Bright Thinker Basic Teacher Overview. When you are logged in as a teacher, you will have access to all the first day things you will need as a teacher. Any courses that you are enrolled in as a teacher will populate for you underneath the date on your home page. These are what we call course cards. They may have an image, they'll have the course title, and they'll have some icons at the bottom of each card that we'll go through later. You'll also have a needs grading section to the right of the date. This will give you a bubble with a number that'll indicate to you how many student submissions you currently have to grade. These student submissions will include anything that is not auto-graded by the platform. So this may be projects, labs, essay questions, and they'll come right here for you when a student submits. When you click onto the needs grading, to the far left, it'll list out all of the current student submissions you have. The oldest will be listed at the top, and any of the same activities will be clumped together. You'll have a filter search bar at the very top, which will allow you to search for a specific student name or course title. You do not have to grade from top to bottom. You may click on any activity you would like and grade as you see fit. But once you've clicked onto an activity, the content of the submission will be in the middle panel. At the top, it will give you the student's name. To the right of their name, if they have any accommodations set to their specific user by the admin team, you will get the flag and you'll be able to click on it and see exactly what was set for them. Underneath that, you'll get a course title, activity title, the category that this submission falls under. You'll get a submitted date and time, and possibly an active time spent within the activity before they click submit. If you're in a continuous course, you'll get a targeted due date. If you're in a range course and you set your own due dates, you'll get a due date here as well. To the right of the submission information, you'll have a printer icon. When you click there, if your device has the capabilities, you may print or save a work sample. This will include that submission information at the top, as well as all of the questions if it is a question-based activity, or it'll give you a preview of the upload-based activity. This example here is a mixture of auto-graded questions and manually graded questions. It pulled for me to the top the questions that need my attention as a teacher, and if I scroll down in that middle panel, I can see all of those auto-graded questions as well. I can see what the student answered, what they got incorrect and correct, and any points that were awarded. For the portion that I need to grade, you'll be able to see the question the student was asked. The gray box will show me what the student typed in for their answer. And below that, you may see an example answer, or you may see an answer key of some kind to indicate what should have been typed in the box. You may also have a points box right below that where you can manually type in the points you'd like to award. And sometimes you'll have a rubric available. It will just depend on the actual activity itself. You'll notice that once you have awarded points to the questions that needed my attention as a teacher, it's going to combine that grade with the score of the auto-graded questions, and in the top right, it's going to give me an overall score for this activity. You may click onto that scoring box itself and you may manually change the score. Keep in mind, when you manually change the overall score for activities such as these, it will override the auto-graded portion. Below the actual score box, you'll have options such as full credit, no credit. You may clear it out and start over, or you can even revert it to calculated. Below that, you'll have some more options. You can always save it as a draft. If you are not ready to submit this activity, you'd like to come back, you can save whatever you've already awarded. It'll stay within your needs grading, and you can come back and finish grading at a later time. To the right of that will be the submission button. Anytime you click submit, this will send this score back, and it'll be calculated into the overall score and into the gradebook, depending on the settings that were chosen by your admin team for what is calculated into the gradebook. Below that, you have some more options. You can also excuse. This will put the letter X in the gradebook. It will not count this activity towards the overall score. And it will not change any pacing within a continuous course. It'll keep the pacing as is. You'll also have the option to allow a retry at any time. Whether or not the student has run out of attempts that they were given, you can always allow a retry. You'll have the option to override complete. If there is anywhere where it was chosen by your admin team where the student must receive a passing score to move forward, maybe they've tried a few times and they're still not getting a passing score and you'd like to allow them to continue and move on from where they're at, you can override complete, which will accept the failing score and allow the student to continue. You'll also have the option to mark it as missing. When you mark it as missing in a continuous course where they are in sequential order, they will have to go back and complete this activity again before they can move forward from where they are. When you mark as missing, we do recommend allowing a retry first, just so if they are out of attempts, when you mark it as missing, they will have the option to complete it and they won't be stuck. Below these main options, you'll have a messages center where you can enter feedback. You can either type in feedback, you can use emojis, you can add links, you can add video or audio recordings of yourself that you can send back to the student. You'll notice that once I've entered content into the messages section, I now have an arrow highlighted to the right of the submission button. When I click there, this will allow me to just send the message itself to the student without submitting the score. So when I send the message, it will keep track of it for me under the messages section. This will now appear as feedback in the activity stream for the student. But when you're ready to submit, you just click submit. It'll send that score back. You'll notice that it didn't automatically come out of my needs grading. On the far left-hand side, it will keep track for me that I have submitted a grade so that I can continue grading. In order to remove them from the needs grading, I'll either have to refresh my page or come back, leave the needs grading and come back. So I'm going to click down onto an upload-based activity to show you another type of activity you might see in your needs grading. On this particular one, they were asked to print this off, complete it offline, and then upload it. So you'll have a student's comment section if they typed into the comments box or they took a picture of their activity, different things like that. You'll have a student attachment section if they attached a file. Depending on how or what they attached, you may get a preview of the file itself. When you scroll down, depending on the activity, sometimes you'll have a rubric or these scoring boxes where you can award the scores and points, or you can click right onto the rubric itself and it'll award those points you've chosen. If there is no rubric or scoring box below the upload-based activity, it just indicates that you need to provide an overall score in the top right. So if you ever need to see if there's an answer key available for an upload-based activity, you can do it right from the needs grading section. You'll notice that the activity title itself is clickable. So when you click onto the activity title, and I'm going to click leave because I did provide some scores, but I'm going to leave and come back later. And this will bring me into the student's view of the activity. However, in order to see answer keys, I have to view it as a teacher. So in the top right where it says viewing as, I'm going to click there and select view as from the drop-down menu. You'll get a pop-up and you'll select myself teacher and click OK in the bottom right. I'm now viewing this activity as a teacher. I can use my arrows in the top left that face away from each other to toggle between activities, so I can go to a previous activity or next activity. The answer key, if it's available, will be right after the activity, so I'll need to click on to next activity. This one didn't have an answer key, so I didn't have anything available, but if it's a PDF, you can download or print it, or you may view it, and then you can click the arrow in the top left to go back to your needs grading section. Those are the types of activities that you might find. Below the submission information, you'll also have some tabs. That first one on the left is the content of the submission. To the right of it will be your score and activity history. This is not how many times the student has submitted the activity. This is how many times they've clicked in or any activity that has happened to this. So if it was excused in the past, if it was given a score, different things like that will be located here. To the right of that tab will be submission history. This will show you any submissions a student has previously done for this particular activity. So the top one you won't be able to click on because that's what's available within the content tab. But if there's any other versions listed below that, you'll be able to click right onto the date and it'll show you a preview of what they previously submitted. To the right of that, you can also view class statistics. Since this is a training site, I don't have much data in here. I don't have any data in here, but yours will be based upon any student submissions that have already come in. When you're done providing scores or you're ready to navigate out of the needs grading, you'll have a main menu, which will be these 3 stacked lines in the top left-hand corner. When you click onto your main menu, you'll be able to click onto the house icon for the teacher app, and this will bring you back to your login page. From your login page, you'll be able to click onto your name in the top right-hand corner. This will give you a drop-down menu that's specific to your user. You'll notice in here you'll have the option to change your password. So if you were assigned a password or given a password by your admin team, you can come in here and change it to something that you would like to remember so no one else has it. Above that, you'll also have the option to choose theme. When you click into choose theme, this will allow you to click onto different colors. You'll see in the preview, this will change the navigation, buttons, and things like that just for your specific user while you're in the platform. You'll also have a drop down for color scheme up here in the top left. This will allow you to choose between light and dark. You'll notice that when I choose dark, you can see the preview on the far right. This is in here, so if people who have a hard time looking at the screen for a long time, vision impairments, things like that, it might make it a little bit easier for them to navigate through the platform if it is a darker color. We do precaution with this that sometimes it looks like the buttons are grayed out and they can't click on things such as retake or retry. So we just precaution with that if they are in dark mode. I'm not going to save anything in here, so I'm going to click the X in the top left. I'm going to click back onto my name in the top right, and that first option from the drop-down menu is the settings. When you click into the settings, this will be just for your specific user. On the right-hand side, you'll have a notifications preferences. When you enter a notifications email in here, you'll be able to scroll down and select what you'd like to be notified to that specific email. So there are several different notifications you can receive as a teacher. There's even a teacher notifications section. So if you'd like to see when students are submitting things, if they reply to something, if their grade drops below passing. And you can scroll down and view other notifications that are in here, such as for observers or students that they can choose as well. So if you have students that you would like to be notified of different things, you can direct them to come click into their settings. You can ask them to provide their email or a parent's email, and then you can scroll down to the student notifications and tell them, you can be notified of getting feedback or your grade below 0, things like that, or grade drops below passing. You'll also have the option to add a profile picture, so you'll have a plus button. You'll be able to add an image on your own. Students by default cannot add their own image. They do have to choose between the avatars, and you can also choose between the avatars we provide as well. I won't make any changes in here, so I'm going to click the X in the top left. Back in your main menu in the top left-hand corner, within your main menu, you'll have quite a few different things to navigate to. You'll notice that you can also get into your needs grading right here from the main menu. Right below that will be your notes section. Both you and students have notes within their main menu. This will give you a list of all the notes you've taken in different lessons throughout your courses. It'll list out where the notes are contained, but it won't show you the actual notes. You'll have to click into that specific lesson to view the notes you've taken. Students cannot view their notes when they're in a quiz or a test. It is solely within that lesson they took the notes. Right below the notes will be your announcements. When you click onto the announcements from here, on the far left-hand side, it's going to list out any announcements that have been made by your admin team or you as a teacher. You can always click and view any of them on here. And you can even create your own. In the top right, there will be a speech bubble with 3 lines on it. It'll say new announcement when hovered over. When you click onto the new announcement, at the top, you'll be able to choose all or just a few courses or one course that you'd like to send the announcement to. You can pick a start and end date, or you can display it indefinitely. You will need a subject line. And then the content of your actual announcement. It can be an emoji, it can be links, pictures, videos. Depending on what you're announcing, you have some flexibility here. When you're satisfied with your announcement, you'll click Post in the top right. You'll notice on the far left-hand side, you can view the announcements you've made as a teacher. They are going to look a little bit different. You'll have a pencil icon to edit the announcement at any time, or the trash can to delete it. So any announcements that don't have those icons are ones made by the admin team, and you can only view them. Students and teachers, when you have new announcements, back on the home icon, you'll have a little speech bubble icon with an exclamation. When you hover over, it'll say announcements. Anytime you receive a new announcement from the admin team or students receive announcements, you'll get a little bubble like this one here on it, and it'll indicate how many announcements you have to view. Clicking back into the main menu below announcements, we're going to come down to calendar. You and the students will both have a calendar option within your main menu. You'll have a calendar view up here where you can click around on different days of the month to view what assignments are coming up. And below that, it'll list out all of the courses you're enrolled in. So you can view one course activities, both. Keep in mind, if you have different enrollment dates than your student, your calendars will not match. They will be different due dates that you'll see. The calendar is based upon enrollment dates, and these are continuous courses, so these are dates that were automatically paced out by the system. If I'm in a range course and I've already set due dates, this will show any due dates that I've applied. This will allow the student to click right onto the activity and work from here. If they're required to work in sequential order and they click on something that is ahead of where they are sequentially, it will redirect them back to where they are supposed to complete next. Clicking back into my main menu, underneath the calendar will be the People tab. The main menu People tab will hold all of the students in all of the courses that you're enrolled in as a teacher. So if you have the same student in more than one course, you will notice that you'll see them more than once, but it will give you the title of the course right below it, so you can see the information for which course you're looking at. Now you won't automatically see everything here. You'll want to navigate to that gear icon in the top right for your display options. I'm going to leave all of them on, but you have the option to check off or on anything you'd like to look while you're coming in here. So the People tab is a great way to monitor student progress at a glance. You can see things such as last login, their accommodation flag if they have one. You can see an overall score for the course as well as time spent. When I scroll to the right, you can also see an all activities progress bar, mastery of the standards or objectives. You can get a green dot if they're online the same time that you're in your People tab. And you can get a pace and performance glance. So when you hover over these colors, it'll let you know what those colors are indicating. So pace is if they're on schedule for, if they're in a continuous course and they're on pace for what they were scheduled out for the targeted due dates or what you assigned. And performance is just indicating their score, their overall score. And you can scroll, hover over it just to see what those colors mean. You can also see things such as things they have assigned as of today, what they failed, and what they have late as of today. And you can even see their enrollment end date. I just scrolled all the way to the far left. You'll also have an upside down triangle in here. It'll say filter when you hover over it. When you click on that, this will allow you to search for a specific user. So if you're just wanting to monitor real quick and see a specific student, that way you can see just them and you can kind of at a glance see where they're at and how they're doing. You just want to make sure to clear that out and click the upside down triangle again to go back to your regular view of the People tab. You can also have a more in-depth look at their grades, specifically just for one student. When you click onto their name to the far left of the People tab here, this will allow you to see that overall score. You can see a breakdown of gradable activities progress bar versus all activities progress bar. So the all activities will include things such as marking something as complete or viewing something for a specific amount of time. This might be a supply list or project information. It'll list out all of the gradable activities within the course. You'll get to see any scores that they have already earned. You can see a submission date. Targeted due date will be there if it is a continuous course. It'll say just due date if it's a ranged course, and you'll only see due dates in a ranged course if you've assigned them yourself. You'll be able to click right from here onto one where they already have a score they've submitted. This will allow you to see their complete submission, even if it was completely auto-graded. You'll notice you have the same features as the needs grading, and you can even print a work sample right from here if you need one. You'll click the back arrow in the top left. That will allow you to go back to the overall People tab. Clicking back into your main menu, underneath the People tab, you'll have a link right to the support materials if available in your main menu. This will bring you into a new tab. It'll hold all of the resources that we offer, a more in-depth look at different pieces for both teacher and overall resources. It is a separate site from your school site, so all of staff will share the same login credentials. You may want to reach out to your admin for those credentials if you don't already have them. Below that link, you'll have a customer support link. This will bring you to our ticket system. So it will open up a new tab, and it'll bring you to our help center where you can select a form you'd like to fill out. So if you just need help finding something, you want to report an issue, or you want to provide feedback, you will just select which one you're trying to fill out, click next, and then it'll bring you into the help ticket. The more information, the better. You will have some required fields. We do understand that sometimes issues do happen in all of your courses, so we ask for a specific example to be filled out here, and then just indicate to us in the summary of the issue that it is happening across all your courses. If you don't have a specific example, that's okay. The more information that you add within your summary of the issue, the faster we can help you. It does come to our full support team, so whoever can help you the best, the fastest will. Clicking back over to the site, back into the main menu. Below the customer support, you will have a more reports option. This will bring you into PDF options that you will have. So if you need to have a one-on-one with a student or a parent, or you would just like a clean PDF of different things, different reports that we offer, this is a great way to generate right from here. Our most popular ones have been student daily activity, progress, and grade details, and submissions is a newer one. We do have examples within the support materials where you can view what they look like. Progress is probably our simplest one, where it'll show overall progress and score for the student. They can be generated by course or by student depending on your need. Back in the main menu, underneath More Reports will be your student resources. Within the student resources, students also have access to this in their main menu. This will have documents and videos that students can read, preview, or watch. So different things such as they have their own application overview video, they can watch how to complete a retake, viewing feedback and their grades, and different things like that. It is a great way for a student to learn their navigation and way around the platform. Back in the main menu, I'm going to click back onto the house icon for my teacher app homepage. Now on your course card, you will have some icons here at the bottom. You'll have an activities play button that will bring you into the full list of activities for the course. You'll have a gradebook icon. This will bring you into the gradebook for this specific course. You'll have more reports per course icon available on here as well. A people tab specific to just the students in this course, and the pencil icon will be your editor. Students will have an activities play button and a gradebook or a grades icon on their course cards. They'll be able to view the full activity list when clicking onto the play button, and they'll be able to view their grades view when clicking onto their grades icon. As a teacher, when you click onto that activities play button, you'll have everything in the course that you'll need. So you'll have the course title at the top. You'll have the option to add landing page content, which can be a static announcement, so it can be information about you as a teacher, links you want to make sure they have access to, or just a static announcement you'd like to leave at the top of the course. So when the students click that activities play button, they'll have access to it no matter where they are within the course. You'll also have a search bar in here, so this will allow you to search things such as answer keys. This is a great way to find an answer key for an upload-based activity. It'll pull all of those up for you. You'll notice they have this red eyeball on there, which means it's hidden from the student's view, but it is visible on your side as a teacher. You may view them, save them, print them, whatever you need, and you just click the X to clear that search bar back out. Within the courses, they'll have a Getting Started folder. We always recommend that students and teachers click on that Activities Play button, come into the Getting Started folder, and see any information that they will need for the course. So this will include a student orientation video. It'll include any supply lists, required reading lists, anything that they'll need externally from the platform for this course. So we highly recommend coming into the Getting Started folder and seeing what all is needed. It'll also have any printables, so if there is a good amount of printables that are needed for the course, we also have them listed in that Getting Started folder. So if you need to print them all at once before starting the course, you have it right where you need it, so you don't have to go looking for them. But it will have all of the units within your course, how it comes. Within the units, you'll notice you can see all the lessons, the structure, the quizzes, how the activities and labs fall, projects, things like that. As a teacher, you'll be able to click into anything in any order you would like and see it just as the student would see it. So anytime you click in here, you're going to see that lesson just as the student would click in and see the lesson on their side. I'm just going to pull up some example activities in here and look at one of these lessons. So when clicking into an activity, students have some tools at their disposal as long as it wasn't determined not to provide them by the admin team. They'll have things such as highlighters, answer eliminators. If it was decided to allow printing, you'll have a printer icon. You'll have the accessibility toolbar as well. Students will be able to use this for text-to-speech, translation. They'll have a dictionary, picture dictionary, screen mask, magnifier, highlighters, and then they'll have some settings that they can choose to change some of these items in here. You'll have access to preview it and use it as a teacher as well when you click into an activity where it's available. You'll also have a notes icon in here in the top right. This will open up a panel where you can use that plus button in the bottom right. This will allow you to take notes where you can type right within there and save it. Students will have this as well, and any notes you take in here will show up in that main menu notes section. Clicking back twice will bring me back to my activities list. From here, if I click back into my main menu in the top left-hand corner, you'll notice I have a submenu for those icons on my course card. Under activities will be the gradebook. This will bring me into the gradebook where I can view all gradable activities by default. I can see any current scores that were earned, and if I scroll to the right, I can kind of go ahead and come back. If I click onto a score itself that's already been earned, I can see that submission and print a work sample from here as well. I'll have a lightning bolt in the top right. This will allow me to quick edit either the grades. So if I need to manually adjust a grade, maybe a student was working offline, completing their work that way or through a different pathway, and I just want to enter the grades in here so that I can get that overall score for the course, I can do it this way. I can even type in the letter X to excuse the activity. You'll just want to make sure when you're done affecting scores, you click that lightning bolt again so you don't affect any scores you did not intend to. Sometimes you'll notice that little paper icon that's in here with the folded corner. That indicates to me that a student has submitted this activity and it needs a score. So typically you'll just see that paper icon by itself. That'll allow me to click right from here in the gradebook and provide that score. So just like the needs grading, I'll be able to provide a score right from here in the gradebook. When clicking onto the student's name to the far left, this will also bring me into the grades page, and I can view an individual student's grades right from here if I need to see it one by one. So just like the People tab, you won't automatically have all display options available. You'll want to come up to the gear icon in the top right. When you click there, this will give you several different gradebook options that you have. So you can view different things such as last login, performance. You can scroll through and check on or off whatever you like. You'll also have the option to see non-gradable activities. And you can even see inactive enrollment. So if the student's enrollment has already passed and you'd like to see their scores, you can check this on and you'll be able to view those as well. Once you've made your selections, if you want all the same selections for all of your gradebooks, you'll have a tools section in the bottom where it'll allow you to click export. This will allow you to choose other courses you're enrolled in that you would like to apply the same display options to, and then you'll just click export. This way you don't have to go into each gradebook every time and make the same selections. This will allow you to do it once and export it to your other gradebooks. If you made any changes, you'll just click save in the top right and those will apply for you and you can view them. You'll notice I checked on those non-gradable activities. They're now the grayed out activities listed for me so I can see everything in the gradebook. Clicking back into the main menu, below gradebook you'll have some more report options for the individual course. These will be CSV spreadsheet options. When clicking back into the main menu underneath reports, you'll also have a People tab. This will be the same as your main menu People tab. It'll look exactly the same, but it'll just be the students within this course. Below the People tab will be the pencil icon for the editor. This will bring you into the full list of activities for the course. Anything made in here will affect all students enrolled. If you're in a range course, you'll want to click over to that scheduling tab in the top left. This will allow you to drag and drop specific activities and assign those hard set due dates. If you would like to allow late submissions, you can do that through the activity list, and we do have steps on that within the support materials. Once you've assigned a due date, you can click right onto the calendar view of that due date. And you'll notice it pops up at the bottom. To the far right of that will be 3 dots. When you click on the triple dots, it'll allow you to edit, preview, or remove the due date. If you click delete, it will delete the activity itself, not the due date, so just ensure that you click remove due date. If you're in a continuous course and you click onto scheduling, it'll just let you know that you're in a continuous course and you cannot affect the due dates. When clicking onto the syllabus tab to the far left, going back to my main editor view, you'll notice to the right of all the folders and activities, you will have the same 3 icons. I'm just going to open that folder to view them a little bit better. The first one will be the eyeball icon. Anytime you click on that, you will hide that activity completely from the student's view. They will no longer be able to see it. And if they are in a continuous course, it will adjust their pacing to accommodate for one less activity. This will go for unhiding it as well. You'll also have the pencil icon to the right of that. This will bring you into the editor of the activity itself. And if you click on one, such as this lesson where it has questions tied to it, you'll have a questions tab in the top left. That'll pull up the answer key for all the auto-graded activities. Now the platform will grade these automatically for you, so if you just need to know the correct answers, you can always click in here to view them. We do ask that if you find something doesn't look correct, you report it to us and not change it yourself in here. If you do change anything in here, it will break your link to that question and it will no longer receive updates. I'm going to click the X in the top left to go back to my editor. To the right of the pencil will be the triple dots. This will allow you to either preview the activity, move it around. It does give you the option to delete. However, we highly recommend not deleting anything within the platform. We recommend hiding over deletion. Anything deleted, you can restore it. However, we can't guarantee that everything will come back as intended. And if there were student scores already in there, we can't guarantee the scores will come back. Within your editor in the bottom left, you'll also have an arrow, an expansion arrow. So when you click on that, it will open up and it will list all the standards or objectives within the course. This is just a training site, so I don't have anything tied to it, but all of your state-specific standards will be listed in here. You'll be able to open each folder and view what objectives are tied to each activity itself. That was the basic first day overview of the Teacher app. Let us know if you have any questions. Please reference the student resources and our support materials for any extra information. We are here to support you.